And now the starting lineup for tonight's teams. First, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. Goalkeeper number 1, Eric Dick. Defender number 3, Patrick Dover. Defender number 5, Sean Seaver. Defender number 13, Luke Yazzie. Midfielder number 7, Lacey Blakestock. Midfielder number 2, Daniel Griffin. Midfielder number 7, Junior Aichi. Midfielder number 14, Charles Burks. Forward number 19, Edward Kizak. Forward number 27, Babacar Tien. Midfielder number 42, Jack Walton. Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC is led by head coach Bob Lilly. And now the starting lineup for your Birmingham Legion FC. Your goalkeeper number 1, Matt Van Oekel. Defender number 21, Alex Cornelli. Defender number 3, your captain, Bonwell Kamina.
after a disappointing outing last weekend, Birmingham Legion are ready to bounce back in front of the home crowd tonight and start a new unbeaten streak. But the Pittsburgh Riverhounds are in town, desperate for points in the playoff chase in the first of 2 late-season meetings. Will tonight be painted in black and gold or black and yellow? Let's find out. USL Championship Soccer is next. Good evening from Birmingham, Alabama, the Vulcan statue overlooking the Magic City, as we are just about ready for our coverage of the USL Championship tonight, featuring Birmingham Legion taking on Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Up here in our broadcast booth in Protective Stadium, glad to have you with us tonight. Alongside Morgan Copes, I'm Blake Gardner, and Morgan, for each of these two teams, tonight feels like a must-have.
It sure is. This is definitely one of those 6-pointers they start to talk about as the season gets towards the end. This is expected to be a very, very close matchup. The 4 out of the last 5 games, only 1 goal has separated the difference.
Well, Pittsburgh trying to chase their way up the Eastern Conference playoff picture. They want goals tonight. They've struggled to score at times this year, and that starts tonight with Edward Kizza.
They do, and Kizza loves coming to Birmingham. A couple years ago, he scored 2 late equalizers to break the hearts in Birmingham, and then he scored the decisive penalty to send them through in the playoffs. So he'll be happy to be here. He was very clinical on that night, which sometimes Coach Lilly has said he could be a little bit better. You see here now, he gets into good positions, he scores goals, right? But he has a lot saved, and so sometimes that just boils down to confidence for a forward. You see another one cleared off the line here. Kizza's going to be key for them if they're going to go seek 3 points.
Meanwhile, on the other side of things for Birmingham Legion, it's Stefano Pino who leads the line once again.
And he's been hot lately. He's got 3 goals in his last 4 games, including this worldie right here. He has the ability to put the ball in the back of the net. He will get dirty, he will bump bodies, but he has to get service from his teammates. He's not the type of player that's going to go and beat you 1v1 and create for himself, but he can score goals if he gets service from his teammates.
We'll see if Birmingham can find number 29 up top once again here tonight. We're closing in on kickoff here at Protective Stadium. When we return to Birmingham, Alabama, we'll look at each side's starting 11s, plus the first 45 minutes between Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, right after this.
I'm Chelsea, and a little thing I like about the Chick-fil-A Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is I think it's just a perfect combination of ingredients. The pepper jack cheese and that spiciness of the sandwich. It's the right type of spice and the right amount of spice. It's crunchy on the outside, but then really tender on the inside. And then, obviously, the pickles on the bottom are iconic. There are too many things I like about it. I don't know if I can finish the thought.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
I need to try it first. Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to Birmingham, Alabama, and our coverage of USL Championship soccer tonight. Almost ready for kickoff here, but first, let's get a look at each side's starting 11s. And Morgan, let's start first with Bob Lilly and Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who have made just a couple of changes coming into the night.
They have, but it's still Lilly ball, right? He talked about it earlier this week. He said, when you're winning, it's great. When you're not, maybe not so much, but they have a very distinct style of play. They like to have the two up front. They like to sit back, press, play on the counter, and get goals and keep things very, very tight.
See how Birmingham breaks down that looking Pittsburgh Riverhounds lineup tonight. Speaking of the Legion, a couple of changes for head coach Tom Stone as well.
Yes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see, Roof and Dotson kind of interchange a little bit and see Dotson get forward. We talked about him getting service, or Pino needing to get service. McCartney and Dotson are two guys who can do that, and obviously Hernandez Foster is great at creating. He's one of the top creators in the league this year.
So that's what it looks like tonight for Birmingham Legion and their head coach, Tom Stone. Both sides just about ready to go. Our referees this evening led by Gerald Flores. His 8th USL Championship match this year. His first time seeing both Pittsburgh and Birmingham here in 2024. Speaking of the touchlines, there is Bob Lilly, the 58-year-old, now in his 7th season as the head man in Pittsburgh. Coming into the night, Lilly sitting on 399 pro coaching victories in his long coaching career. On the other touchline, there is Tom Stone, the only head coach Birmingham Legion has ever known. He has gotten the Legion to the playoffs every single year since Birmingham came into the USL Championship back in 2019. Shadows starting to come on the turf here at Protective Stadium as the sun continues to set. And all things considered for late August, not too bad. The weather here in the Magic City tonight, 85 degrees, a little bit of breeze as we get ready for kickoff. Birmingham Legion in their black Vulcan kits tonight. Pittsburgh in yellow and gray here on the road. Everyone set. Our referee, Gerald Flores, give us the whistle here in just a moment in the first of 2 late season meetings between these two sides. We'll get underway. It's Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds for the first time here in 2024. Birmingham right away, get it forward quickly, earn themselves a throw in the attacking third. It's the 10th overall meeting between these two sides. Pittsburgh with 6 wins in the previous 9 meetings. Birmingham with a couple of wins and then just 1 draw, all things considered. But hard to believe these two sides haven't seen each other yet this year. In fact, for each club, this is the only Eastern Conference team they have not played yet so far. But there's 2 late season meetings to round out this 2024 season as Kobe Hernandez Foster brought down Edward Kizza. It's an early free kick here for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and Kobe Hernandez Foster perhaps a little fortunate to get away with just a stern talking to and not an early yellow card caution.
Certainly, and those are some of the things that we saw last week against Detroit that Legion FC did. Just careless in possession, giving the ball away too easily, and really giving Detroit every opportunity to come at them. It was fortunate for Legion FC that game only had 1 goal in it, but early attack here from them and great build-up play.
Dotson trying to get there, couldn't quite get there in front of Biasi, who clears it away from danger. It's a nifty flick from Rita Zuhir to spring Birmingham the other way.
And it looks like Kobe Hernandez Foster is kind of sitting in that 6th position right now. Be interesting to see how he and Zuhir interact or interchange throughout the game. But I know Legion FC want Kobe Hernandez Foster to be on that ball as much as they possibly can.
That'll trickle just out of play. It'll be a throw in for Birmingham, and Roof wastes no time getting it back in play. Birmingham quickly put it on the floor. Want to go, as they typically do, all the way back to their goalkeeper, Matt Van Oekel. The 37-year-old gets his 16th start of the year tonight.
Interesting here. Pittsburgh are setting their lines pretty high as Legion FC's 18, but their defenders obviously sitting at midfield, so that'll create a lot of space and in between the lines for Birmingham to take advantage of.
Here's a great ball forward, an extra pass is off the post. DN, a golden opportunity, but just off the frame. Kavita made it difficult trying to close down the shooting lane, and Matt Van Oekel is down for the Legion.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Pittsburgh want to try and do. Win the ball in good places and then get at you very, very, very quickly. Hopefully Matt Van Oekel is okay. It looks like he may have taken something to the head. You can see on camera here he's kind of blinking and just checking to see where he's at. but oh, that's a knee right to the side of the head. That's tough to see. Hopefully Matt Van Oekel was okay and able to continue, but that's one of those, as a goalkeeper, you have to be brave in those scenarios. You can't shy away from that, because when you shy away, you give up a goal or something like that. So Matt Van Oekel does a great job, comes out, makes himself big and gets in harm's way. Fortunately, he's okay to continue, but still, that's a very, very difficult thing for goalkeepers to do. They have to have that bravery, and Matt Van Oekel puts it on display there for us.
Huge opportunity early on in the night. Danny Griffin made the extra pass to Babacar Dieng. Pittsburgh can't cash in. It's kind of been the story of the year for the Riverhounds. They've created opportunities, but they've struggled to score at times this year. We'll see if that early miss comes back to haunt them tonight. Riverhounds in possession right now. By the way, Riverhounds officially with a clean bill of health. Nobody listed on the injury report as we look at both sides. Reports coming into the night. Alex Crognale deals with that ball in the air. Birmingham start to break from the back again. So here, in between the lines, out wide to Dawson McCartney. Birmingham will hold things up just a little bit. So nobody on the injury report for Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, for Birmingham, of course, no Mikey Lopez, no Mohamed Boya Tarai, and no Deben Nwegbo. However, Matthew Corcoran, who's been out all of 2024, did make the bench this evening, and we'll see if the 18-year-old makes his season debut at some point tonight. Another throw for Birmingham here in the attacking third. Zuhair taking off it. Now how quickly does Pittsburgh want to go back the other way? Griffin connects with Kizza. Now the Hounds start to build. Shinaratu getting forward. On one side, Blackstock the wingback on the other side. Super does find Blackstock on the right. Pittsburgh calm in possession, trying to find a second early goal scoring opportunity that would give them an advantage on the road. Hounds in need of all 3 points tonight. Of course, they want to extend that unbeaten streak, but a draw does not do them nearly as much good as a road victory would in terms of giving their playoff hopes a much-needed boost. At 2, working with Roof along that line, and he couldn't keep it in play. It's going to be a Birmingham throw.
It's good work from Hogan there with Pino right in behind him. Ball comes into Pino, and Hogan wins that ball. Pino on the other side, you would say he needs to do better as a center forward, holding that ball up for his teammates to be drawn into the play. But Hogan gets around him and then creates the attack and creates the opportunity for Pittsburgh to go forward. That's super huge if you're a defender, right? But equally as important as if you're a number 9 and a center forward. You need to hold the ball up and bring your teammates into play. Whereas a center back wants to make sure, obviously, that that center forward doesn't get the ball, doesn't turn, doesn't run at you, and if you can, win it in a good space and get your team forward and on the front foot.
Birmingham captain Fanuel Kavita looking long. Headed down and onto the second ball. Hernandez, Foster, and AJ Patterson. It's a back 4 for Birmingham tonight. And Alex Crognale back, who missed the Detroit City contest due to a red card suspension. And Kavita, the Birmingham center backs, as is typically the case on most nights. Erratic header there, sends that out of play. Good defending once again, but Birmingham wastes no time getting a fresh ball. Dodson serve, cut out by Hogan. It'll be a Birmingham throw.
Yeah, that was super important intervention from Hogan there, because if he doesn't get on the end of that, that ball was pitched backwards, and Dawson McCartney was going to walk onto that and hit it first time. So Pittsburgh doing what they have to do defensively, which is just what they're so good at, right? They defend so well. They keep clean sheets. They keep people out. They keep games close. A lot of times you won't see them score 4 or 5 goals in a game, apart from twice against Birmingham early on. But generally speaking, they keep things close. They keep things tight, compact, and then they play on the counter and they get their chances and they finish their chances. I think you were talking about the stat earlier about XG. What was it?
No team has been more unlucky this year than the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in terms of expected goals versus actual goals scored. Now, the defense has been strong, as you said. Only Sacramento Republic has given up fewer goals this year in the USL Championship in terms of goals per game than Pittsburgh. At some point, if you're the Hounds, you're hoping for a little bit of positive regression in terms of finding the back of the net just a little bit more over the final third of this USL Championship regular season. All it takes is a couple of positive performances here, a couple of wins down the stretch for Pittsburgh to vault themselves up above that playoff line. The Hounds in 10th coming into the night on 28 points. Birmingham Legion in 6th, 7 points ahead. Pittsburgh's going to have some opportunities here down the stretch of the season to do damage on teams they're trying to chase. See Birmingham twice in about the span of 3.5 weeks. See some other Eastern Conference foes as well. Heady play there from Dawson McCartney to cut out that pass for Langston Blackstock. So here sinking deep, trying to facilitate play forward. McCartney. Back to the feet of A.J. Patterson. Pino trying to play it first time, not quite going to get all the way to McCartney.
Again, that's good play from Hogan, center back, cultured. He's done this a while. Bad giveaway here.
McCartney an opportunity, and Dick saw it all the way. He makes his first save of the night. Stop number 42 this year for Eric Dick, the former Butler Bulldog, who has been, along with this Pittsburgh back line, one of the best goalkeepers in this USL Championship this year. So each side an early opportunity. A giveaway doesn't haunt Pittsburgh there. Jackson Walty onto it. Just to redirect out White Biasi. Speaking to that by Crognale. Might have gotten away with a wrist that got a piece of that ball, but Birmingham allowed to play, and here come the Legion. Ten minutes gone here, Protective Stadium tonight. Excited with an early opportunity, but nobody has found the back of the net just yet. Jay Patterson forced all the way back to Matt Van Oekel. Birmingham fans, don't forget to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news. Be sure to follow at BHM Legion on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today. It's at BHM Legion on social media. The Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. So here's got options, picked up his head, opted not to serve there, instead puts it on the floor, and has Foster back out wide to Roof. Birmingham does have bodies forward. Enzo Martinez hasn't gotten many touches early on tonight, but he's almost level along that front line with Stefano Pino for the moment. There is a ball towards Martinez that's just over the top of him. Goal kick here for Pittsburgh. Morgan gives us a chance to look at our keys to the game tonight. Let's start first with the Hounds. How do they come away with 3 points on the road tonight?
They got to finish their chances. They've already had one, and it didn't come off. We talked about their XG versus what they've actually scored so far. They have to finish their chances, and then they need to stick to Lily Ball. They've done it so far. They've created a couple chances, but for Birmingham, they need to bounce back. They need to create chances. They did not have a single shot on target against Detroit last week, and we talked about creating chances. Getting service into Pino is going to be important for them to get 3 points tonight.
Birmingham, in terms of XG, created second lowest total all season long. That last time out against Detroit. The game Detroit City really controlled from start to finish. A big road win for City. Another team that's right in the thick of the Eastern Conference playoff race. Detroit City snapped an unbeaten streak of 4 straight that Birmingham Legion was riding coming into last weekend. For Birmingham, they know they've got to start seeing some results here at home. Dustin McCartney earlier in the week said, quote, "We're upset with our performance and very eager to get back on the field and show that last week's performance is not who this Legion team is." So we'll see if Tom Stone's club can get back on track here at home tonight. Take points off a Pittsburgh team that obviously needs those points in a serious way. Lily saying earlier in the week he knows every match from here on out almost a must-win for the Riverhounds, who need to accumulate points and accumulate them quickly after a slow start. Long pass across the park, had no chance of getting there. Blackstock with the interception.
It's a very dangerous pass from Zuhair there. Again, we talked about Pittsburgh doing so well and counter-pressing and finding ways to make you try and make passes that they're able to intercept and come after and then turn around and counter you on. They do such a good job of that. Their organization defensively is very good, and you know, it's just consistent.
Hogan under a little bit of pressure, keeps it moving. Sorry, Biasi. Sinking back a little bit deeper for a touch. The long time. Riverhound, one of a couple here in midfield. The other Griffin. Two guys that have been absolute stalwarts. This Pittsburgh Riverhound setup. Kiza on the turn, out wide at 2. At 2 on the move. No one out to greet him until he gets to Roof in and around the area. Etu cuts it back, centers, and just a little bit behind the intended target.
You know, it's interesting enough, you watch that, if you were to go back and see that on replay, you would notice that almost every player for Pittsburgh that had gotten into the box was 12 yards and closer. And nobody decided to just kind of sit and wait and see what happens. A lot of times if you're an attacking midfielder, if you're a center forward, any attacking player, a lot of times the best thing to do is just stop, because everybody's rushing back towards the goal. And so when everybody's rushing back towards the goal, the space opens up behind. You can sit and then sometimes have a great opportunity to score a goal.
Junior Etu just outside the area has found another look here. And indeed the contact is outside the box, but it is going to be a free kick here for the Riverhounds in a very dangerous spot. So the first set piece of the night here for the visitors. Plenty of yellow jerseys in and around the mouth of goal. Can Mertz pick one of them out? Just one man in the wall, quote unquote, for Birmingham. It's Enzo Martinez. Stoppage here as Pat Hogan was locked up with Birmingham captain Fanuel Kavita.
Pittsburgh do have 5 goals off set pieces, 5 of their 23 so far this year.
Scored off a set piece last weekend. A driven serve got all the way to the back post. Dotson got a piece of it, and Kavita a final clearance only as far as Blackstock. Still plenty of yellow shirts in the area. Can Walty pick one out? Not a bad ball. It's Roof who got ahead to it. Enzo Martinez wins Birmingham Legion a throw. Dangerous moments there around the 6-yard box. Another look here at this serve from Mertz.
Griffin almost got on the end of it. He just kind of turned his back away. Had he just, you know, stuck his head in there, he almost kind of gets out of the way of the ball. You know, I don't know if he thought he just couldn't get there and it was on target. Maybe it sneaks in the back corner, but you know, it's certainly something that, you know, he may look back at and think maybe I should have stuck my head on the end of that.
Dawson McCartney found. Free kick given to Birmingham right in front of their bench. 17th start tonight for McCartney, the 25-year-old. Started his college career at Dartmouth, finished it at Notre Dame, now in his first season here in Birmingham. He's been a big piece in the attack for the Legion so far this year. Big reason why Birmingham's attack went quiet last weekend. Dawson McCartney, a relatively quiet outing. Ronaldo trying to keep that in play, couldn't. It's going to be out for a Pittsburgh throw. Mertz and the Hounds thought about attacking quickly, thought better of it. Fans, USL Championship Soccer continues on the ESPN networks in September. The Western Conference matchup of teams fighting to cross the playoff line. Last season's champions, Phoenix Rising FC, host FC Tulsa. Friday, September 6th at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 o'clock Central on ESPN2. Kiza went down. He thought he should get a whistle. Referee thought otherwise. It's Birmingham's chance to build with possession. 17 minutes gone. Scoreless so far between Birmingham Legion and Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Dotson on the run. Hogan's going to beat him there, and it's not going to matter in the end. Derek Dotson's going to be called for a foul. Challenging up in the air there with Luke Biasi. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here with you tonight. Glad you could join us, whether you're watching on ESPN Plus or here in Alabama on My 68. We're on KDKA up in Pittsburgh. relatively even start to the night. Both sides an opportunity or two early, but have been held down since then. Blackstock rolls it down the line. Patterson got a piece, but not enough. Deanne is in behind. Deanne, an opportunity. Cronali cuts it out. McCartney gets a touch, keeps it alive with Griffin on his back. Griffin not letting McCartney out of the corner. And Griffin got a toe in. Was there a foul? Referee said yes. Free kick, Birmingham.
Wow. I got to be honest, I was really impressed with Griffin's ability to stay disciplined and not foul there, but in the end he does. But great job from Pittsburgh here. Win the ball in a good spot, get a good ball across the 6, but Cronali does an equally as good in defending there and clears that danger for Legion FC.
A couple of early moments here for Babacar Dieng. Forward from the Senegal, getting just his 4th start of the year tonight. He's been more of a super sub for the Riverhounds this year. 17 appearances off the bench. Getting a chance to start alongside Edward Kizza tonight. Hit the post earlier, served a pretty dangerous ball to cross right there. Long throw, gets all the way to the head of Pino. McCartney trying to stab it right back to him, but to no avail. Another throw for Birmingham Legion, and A.J. Patterson, the 28-year-old. Scored once this year, also has a couple of assists to his ledger. He's provided Birmingham Legion some much-needed depth in terms of what they've been able to offer on their back line between his play, both in central defense and out at left back. Kavita, no nonsense, sends it forward. Biasi got ahead to it, and 2 kept it in play, but only for a moment as it rolls down the line. Throw in for the Alabama native, Jake Roof, in Birmingham Legion. Trying to start a new unbeaten streak tonight. The Legion had some big-time wins they picked up throughout the summer, including a win at Monterey Bay and then a draw at New Mexico. The Legion have been one of the best road teams in the USL Championship this year. They're trying to take that road form and turn it into points here at home, which is typically the opposite of what most teams are trying to do this time of year. Lovely turn from Zuhir. Switches play to the other side, A.J. Patterson. Alex Cronali a chance to get forward just a little bit. Shake Roof placing the void. Cronali left.
It's interesting enough, I've seen Walty kind of shadow and stay in front of Enzo Martinez. Here he comes back to him right off the screen. He's done a great job of preventing the ball coming into him. That's the 3rd or 4th time I've seen that. It's hard to see on camera, but he's not letting Enzo get the ball. He's not letting him get it on the half turn, which Legion FC love to see that because Enzo can be so dangerous in attack when he gets the ball on the half turn.
Had 2, lost his footing, almost lost possession, but got a little bit of help. Was able to keep it moving, and the Riverhounds now back in possession here, trying to break down this Birmingham side. Blackstock, inquisitive, over the top. Kizza got to it, but the flag is up for offside and wipes away what would have been the 6th goal of the year for Edward Kizza.
It doesn't count, which he'll hate, but the one thing that is good for him as a center forward, he still had the opportunity to finish this ball, and he did, right? Van Oekel maybe not trying to make a save, but sometimes getting that feeling, that confidence as a center forward is a lot of what you need, and just seeing the ball go into the back of the net and being able to visualize that makes a huge difference. They used to talk about Pelé when he would go into the locker room and prior to games, he would lay there and he would put a towel over his head. He would just lay there by himself. Somebody asked him what he was doing. He said, "I'm visualizing myself scoring goals." So thinking of it, seeing it, and then being able to replicate it are all things that are intertwined. And so, Kizza, that could help his confidence in this game.
AJ Patterson going to usher that out of play. It'll be a goal kick for the Legion. And Morgan, goal scoring, something Pittsburgh had in spades last year. Of course, USL MVP Albert Tiqua led the line, led Pittsburgh to a Players' Shield, a league-high 67 points a year ago. His presence has been missed for the Riverhounds so far this season.
It has, and he left and he went to Rhode Island and is getting settled in over there. But Coach Lilly said earlier this week on our call that it took him a couple years to get settled in, and he believes that Kizza has all the capabilities that Tiqua has. It just may take him a year or two. He's hoping this season would be a little bit more of a breakout for him, and it hasn't been. But it doesn't mean that he doesn't believe in Kizza going forward and his ability to score goals for this Pittsburgh team.
Pino bumped from behind by Hogan. Free kick given to the Legion. Pittsburgh's such a quality side a year ago. Those 67 points to go along with 19 wins. Meanwhile, Enzo Martinez on your screen right now. He's passed a new milestone, 20,000 plus regular season minutes in his USL Championship career. Just the 9th player all time to pass that mark. Just another significant number. The career of Enzo Martinez. One of the legends of the league. A guy who Birmingham fans have grown to love here over the past 3 seasons. Martinez on the run here, not going to get there in front of Dick, who, after a momentary stumble, goes to collect it. Enzo Martinez, a guy who has meant so much to this Birmingham setup since coming over before the 2022 campaign. The 33-year-old has done nothing but produce in his time in black and gold. So here applying a little bit of pressure. Hogan able to get it away, but only as far as Pino, who chested down to Dodson. Dodson couldn't keep the shot down.
It was a tough one. It was on his off foot, right-footed player. Ball's bouncing. Got to hit it perfectly, and unfortunately Dodson doesn't do that in that case. But Pittsburgh need to be careful. Dick came out of the box and had to quickly get back in it, which looked a little erratic. And then in possession there, they give the ball away cheaply, very close to their goal, and Legion FC have a half chance. So something's going to give here soon. It's just whether or not it's going to be for the black and gold or black and yellow.
Now here comes Pittsburgh. Etu on the turn, 1v1 with Roof. Etu got the serve away. Kernali sweeps it aside. Edward Kizza and Pittsburgh a chance to get forward there quickly. Dodson not quite on the same page with Roof. An easy collection for Robbie Mertz. Mertz in a wide area right now. Does he try to serve something in? Thought better of it, Biasi. Hogan under no pressure. Make sure everybody resets here for the Riverhounds. Etu beaten to that ball over the top by Kernali. Zuhir brings it down. Mertz on his back. Who touched it last? Mertz did. It's a Birmingham throw. Just the second game in black and gold for Rita Zuhir, the 20-year-old on loan from Montreal. Got in town just in time to get the start last weekend against Detroit City. A guy who made his mark in the USL Championship on loan to San Antonio. Another giveaway here for Birmingham. A chance developing for the Hounds. Mertz bump from behind. Free kick given, and surely our first yellow of the night. And it is shown to Rita Zuhir. Free kick for Pittsburgh in a very dangerous spot.
Yeah, and that's, again, Pittsburgh does a great job of counter-pressing and forcing Legion FC into a pocket to make a difficult pass. Another square pass in their own defensive third that they get on the end of and then come straight at Legion FC with. In looking in possession for Legion FC, you can notice that you've got the back four, you've got Kobe Hernandez-Foster who's there, but then the other players are almost at midfield. So there's nobody in between the lines for Legion FC to help connect passes. So they either have to go route one or they have to find Kobe Hernandez-Foster. And so if they're not able to do that, it's making it very difficult for them to get out of their own half. And Pittsburgh's doing a fantastic job so far in winning possession in good spots.
It's tapped and left for a 2, and a big save for Matt Van Oekel.
That is a fantastic save for Van Oekel. No signs of him not being mentally clear after that collision early on. That's just a fantastic save that'll probably show up on a highlight reel later tonight. Great job from Pittsburgh here. These little set plays are just designed to shift the ball just a little bit. He strikes it very well. Matt Van Oekel sees it cleanly, has his feet set, gets across, gets a big paw to it, and still 0-0.
Corner taken short. Biasi's serve, not a bad one. Collision in the box. Crownelli got a touch there, colliding with Hogan. And Pino clears it away, allows Birmingham to reset their lines. So pressure applied by the Riverhounds once again. Visitors trying to add the first goal of the night as we approach the half-hour mark. Suber and Hogan centrally for the Hounds, all the way back to the goalkeeper, Eric Dick. Mertz lays it off. Walty. Kizza with Kavita on his back. Kizza holds it up, wins a free kick. It's a good hold-up play from Kizza, although he was conceding a good bit of size to the Birmingham captain. Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of this season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next home match at Protective Stadium, check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. Again, that's bhmlegion.shop. Make sure you're outfitted and ready for the next home match at Protective Stadium. 30th minute in the Magic City on a gorgeous night for soccer. Jake Roof heads that over towards that corner flag. It's a throw for the Riverhounds. We're asking some questions to this Birmingham back line over the last 3 or 4 minutes. Birmingham with a little bit more defending to do. Dan's touch let him down just a little bit there in a crowded space. Pino, first time, just a little bit behind McCartney. Allows Pittsburgh to reset things here in possession. Van Select is the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. Crunching challenge there from Biasi. Dodson is down. Referee Gerald Flores said it was a clean challenge, but Dodson remains on the turf here for the moment.
Yeah, that's a tough tackle. I don't know that I would say that that's entirely clean. It's not so much that Biasi doesn't get the ball, it's the follow through, and his shin gets the ball, but his foot comes through and cleans out Dodson. And referee may not have had a good look at that, but nevertheless, referee didn't call it. As long as he's consistent, the players will adapt to that, and they'll be fine with it. As long as they can continue to play by the same rules. It's when the referees get inconsistent is when players and coaches get very frustrated.
McCartney flicks it over his head. Pino kept the move going. Pino, a serve across. Dodson, a touch. Martinez saved. What a play by Eric Dick to deny Enzo Martinez at close range. Still defending to do here for Pittsburgh. Pino out wide. McCartney running forward. McCartney cut out.
Dick did a fantastic job of making himself big in that situation and making that save, because he literally had no other opportunity to get to that ball. Enzo Martinez clear on goal, no competition in and around him from another player, but Dick comes out, just spreads his arms, makes himself as big as he possibly can and makes that save and gets in the way. And again, that's a chance for each side so far tonight where you think they probably should have scored, and they didn't, right? And one of them, Pittsburgh hits the post there. Dick makes a huge save to keep the score at 0-0. But, those are the chances that both of these coaches will have been talking about all season about. We have to score those goals. We have to score those goals in order to get wins. And they haven't done it consistently. Either team has.
Throw here for Pittsburgh right in front of Bob Lilly. Another look here.
great ball in from Pino. It just finds its way to Martinez, and then, Eric Dick comes out and literally just gets a toe to it. I mean, it's a fantastic save, but again, we talk about goalkeepers. You have to make yourself big in those situations, and Dick did that. He came out, made himself big, and made the save to keep it 0-0.
So a couple of saves officially tonight for Eric Dick. Comes into play second in the USL Championship in clean sheets. Only Danny Vitello at Sacramento Republic has notched more. Birmingham tried to counter quickly again, but didn't come off as intended. Now Biasi running forward for the Hounds, seeing if something's on. Perhaps it is. Cardien's going to get to that. It's 1v1 with Crognale for the moment. Kizza across the face of goal scores. It's Edward Kizza in Birmingham again, and Pittsburgh has the opening goal tonight.
There's that man. We talked about him. He gets himself into good positions. That's a fantastic counter from Pittsburgh. They get the ball deep in their own half. The game is a little bit stretched because Legion FC have had a couple chances. Get the ball wide. A fantastic ball across right on top of the six. Kizza gets in front of his defender, outside of his foot, and just roofs it into the top of the net and puts Pittsburgh up 1-0. As simple as that.
Goal brought to you by AT&T, the 6th of the year for Edward Kizza. That's now 12 goals for the former Pitt Panther, Pittsburgh Riverhounds colors.
He just beats Kavita to the spot. He gets across, the ball comes out of Dean's feet, just plays a nice little easy pass across, and he just beats Kavita to the spot there, and Van Oekel has no chance. One thing that if you look at the replay again, we'll talk about it at halftime when we see it again, but Kizza goes and makes a little bit of a hint like he's going to the back post, and then changes direction and comes to the front post and beats Kavita to the spot. But Bob Lilly talked about his movement being good. That was classic, true number 9 movement inside of a box, and a classic finish from a number 9 right there for Pittsburgh.
So the Riverhounds do have a lead on the road. 10 minutes left till halftime. Big opening goal for Bob Lilly's side. Now it's Birmingham looking for a response. Bobby Cardien and Edward Kizza, the two forwards tonight, connect. Beat Birmingham on the counter. McCartney able to turn a little bit of space. A.J. Patterson's gotten forward. So Martinez to the other side of the park.
Worth noting, if you're up in Pittsburgh, you'll be excited to hear this. Pittsburgh have not lost so far this year when they've scored the first goal. They have 6 wins and 2 draws. If you're in Birmingham and you're watching it at home, you're not loving that stat line so far this year. When you've given up the first goal, you have 3 wins, 3 draws, and 9 losses.
So a big opening goal for Pittsburgh. Team that, again, is one of the toughest defenses in the USL Championship this year once again. And now they're working with a goal advantage.
In the head-to-head series so far, Birmingham have only scored 2 goals twice against Pittsburgh in 8 tries.
Goals can be tough to come by against Bob Lilly's side. Griffin got a flick to it. Kizza might have been offside. Matt Van Oekel, though, came off to get it regardless.
Did look like the AR and the center referee communicated that he was offside had he gotten to that ball. So, but again, Pittsburgh knocking on the door again late in this first half, trying to go and find the second. If they can get a second, it's almost game set match for Pittsburgh if they can get that before halftime.
Cardinal trying to flick it towards Pino, but couldn't quite get it through there. It's Danny Griffin who intercepts. Biasi looking long. Mertz unmarked. He's got a bit of space to work with. Jake Roof quickly comes to close that down.
I'm not sure how Mertz drifted into that space all by himself with nobody. Jake Roof certainly was caught high in that situation, and Birmingham are lucky to not see Mertz take and turn and go down the sideline with that.
Walty's first touch a little heavy, but didn't cost him in the end. Martinez cut it out, but it falls kindly for Walty. quiet night so far for Jackson Walty, but he has been an ever-increasing part of this midfield for Pittsburgh. Two did well to keep that in play. Walty helps to go all the way back. Birmingham fans, Legion FC's next match is on the road against former assistant coach Conno Smith and Rhode Island FC. Game coming up Saturday, August 31st at 6:30 Central Time. Tune in to watch the match right here on My 68 or on ESPN Plus, and follow along at BHM Legion on Twitter for live match updates. The Legion are back at Protective Stadium on Wednesday, September 11th against Tampa Bay Rowdies at 7 o'clock Central Time. This game, a nationally televised contest on CBS Sports Network. Get your tickets to the match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets. Help us pack Protective. Van Okel didn't know if he was going to get hands to that, opted to head it away from trouble instead. Griffin over to collect it, an outswinging serve got all the way to Kizza, who finds a second. It kisses in off the post, and it's a first half brace for Edward Kizza. 2-0 to the Hounds.
We were just talking about how a second goal could almost be a death sentence for Birmingham. And Edward Kizza, that man again, he loves coming to Birmingham, Alabama to score goals. And he's done it twice tonight. And Griffin puts in a great serve. He gets a touch. And has time to turn and shoot that ball. You wonder, like, what's going on? Where's the miscommunication here with the center backs for Birmingham? And you see that, off screen, the players for Birmingham are huddled around having a conversation together, talking about how are we going to write this. We have 5 minutes. We have 6 minutes left in this first half. And, again, we'll get a look at the replay here, and Danny Griffin just picks his head up, puts a ball in. Patterson misses it. I mean, Kizza just it's a number 9 finish. It's just gets a touch and boom, he just toe pokes it. He doesn't even get it. He doesn't even catch it cleanly. We'll get a good look of it here. Again, takes a touch. Patterson misses. Cronali's not close enough, and he just puts it in off the post and in and makes it 2-0 for Pittsburgh. And again, they're going to be really tough to beat, having scored 2 goals.
I believe it's the first brace of the year for Edward Kizza, and he's done it inside 40 minutes. 2-0 Pittsburgh. What was billed to be a crucial game for Bob Lilly and the Riverhounds. Edward Kizza and his side have done the job and then some so far in this first half. Put Birmingham on the back foot. Now work to do for the Legion. It's a throw for the home side.
And immediately you see a little bit of a formation change. It looks as though Jake Roof is playing wide on the left now, or found himself over there and just had a bad touch. Hasn't been a great night for him so far. It looks as though A.J. Patterson has slid into left center back. Cronali has slid into right, stays at right center back. Kavita is now playing right back, and Dawson McCartney is now playing left back. So, Derek Dodson still finding himself as the right winger here today for Legion FC. But interesting changes for Tom Sohn, with 4 minutes left to go in this first half.
Birmingham looking for an answer, and they've got a long road back now, trailing by multiple goals. All the way back to his goalkeeper, and Eric Dick sends it away. Now he heads it down to here. Roof able to hold it for the Legion. Birmingham wants something, anything positive from this first half. A missed touch there from Kavita. So Martinez had a great look at goal that was saved, a kick save and a beauty from Eric Dick. Birmingham a couple of shots on frame here in this first half. Pittsburgh with 3, but Edward Kizza's made the most of them. It's the Riverhounds who have a 2-goal advantage. Matt Van Okel's got to be careful, sends that away with his off foot. Griffin able to turn. Out wide, Mertz into the area, almost lost his footing and couldn't hold it in the end.
Here's a chance for Birmingham to counter. They have to go quickly, and this is not quick enough. See, Pittsburgh already have 10 guys behind the ball, or 9 guys behind the ball. The lone guy not behind it was Kizza, and he was just kind of walking back into position. But again, you have the ball, it bounces out right there. You have to make that next pass forward. It has to be a penetrating pass if you want to catch somebody on a counter.
Suber lobs it forward towards Dien. Patterson got ahead to it, but Dien able to get onto it. McCartney was riding his back, and McCartney is going to be shown the second yellow card of the night.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good decision from the referee to give a yellow card in that instance. You know, McCartney catches him from behind, gets on him, but it wasn't a malicious foul. There were 3 or 4 defenders in behind him. You know, I don't think that's a good decision for a yellow card. I think that's McCartney's first foul so far tonight. So, you know, I don't agree with referee Flores in that situation, but, you know, maybe I'll be changing my mind here in just a moment. Again, I don't think that's worthy of a yellow card. He's just trying to, you know, get around him or get some catch up to him, and feet get tangled, and I don't think that's a yellow card, but I'm not the referee, so I am wrong in this situation.
Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. Hernandez Foster got a touch to that ball whipped in by Langston Blackstock. Blackstock tried to keep it alive, but couldn't. So it's out of play for a Birmingham throw. Fantasy USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Closing in on 45 minutes here tonight at Protective Stadium. A.J. Patterson over the top. Suber chested down. It falls for Martinez, and Dick again denies Enzo Martinez for the second time here in this first half.
That's a fantastic save again from Eric Dick. There's no surprises that Pittsburgh are one of the best teams from a goal differential, or excuse me, goals against perspective. I mean, Dick came out and that makes himself big again, gets a paw to that, and saves another goal, right? That's twice he's denied Enzo Martinez from essentially, you know, a scoring position that you would expect somebody like that to score.
So here down the line for Dotson. He cuts it back to the penalty spot. Malty tried to sweep it away from trouble. Kavita heads it right back in. And as Foster couldn't quite get that back to Dotson. 4 minutes of stoppage time to close this first half, brought to you by UAB Medicine. And a throw coming here for the home side.
It's one of those things you look at it and the story of a game. Sometimes the scoreline doesn't tell the whole story. And if Birmingham were to have scored one of those goals, this is a completely different game, right? And, you know, that won't show up in the stat sheet, right? But, you know, Eric Dick has made a huge impact on this game thus far.
Good touches there from Kobe Hernandez Foster. McCartney flips it out wide to Jake Roof. Martinez. Roof into the area. Good move from Jake Roof here to the penalty spot. It was crowded around there. It was cleared away from trouble, and now does Pittsburgh want to counter? Kiza looking left, looking right. He's got a couple options. Wants to hold it up instead. Maybe not the worst decision given his team's 2-goal advantage at the moment.
Yeah, there's no need just before halftime to push if you're not absolutely sure you're going to get a chance on goal at the end of it. And, you know, Kiza does a great job, just gets a foot on it, keeps possession for his team, you know, and they live to go on another day. But
Pino almost got there on the turn. It redirects to Martinez. Roof, a little bit more space. Suhir. Wide McCartney. 4 or 5 black shirts arriving in and around the box is their service. So here switches. Crognale didn't like what he saw in front of him. Still bodies forward for Birmingham here as we play through the first 2 minutes of our minimum of 4 added.
What makes it so difficult right now to break Pittsburgh down, or when they sit deep in their own half, as they like to do sometimes when they've scored goals, is there's no space to play. You either have to go around them or you have to go over them. You can't really pass the ball through them in a lot of instances, and you're finding, or you're watching Legion FC try and figure it out, and you know, they haven't cracked that code yet. But right now, I mean, they're front to back, they're 20-25 yards with 10 guys, and that's very, very difficult to break through.
Legion looking for a little space. Might have found some here. Pino went to ground. A lot of contact. Referee says no. And Eric Dick just now getting to his feet after making sure that all the danger was clear. Not a bad ball there into the feet of Stefano Pino. Was there enough contact here to warrant a point to the spot?
There's certainly contact. If it's enough to get a penalty when you don't have VAR, get a great look here, that's a penalty. Hogan comes in and catches him on the right foot and the right leg, and you can even see it's clear contact. He was going for the ball, he didn't get it, he got Pino and knocked him over. Birmingham fans will be frustrated. They still do not have a penalty so far this year.
So Pat Hogan perhaps a bit fortunate. Birmingham Legion, meanwhile, do not get that point to the spot that certainly would have helped them claw back into this one. Just a few seconds left here in our opening half. Is there time for one more Birmingham push forward? Patterson just a bit too far out front of Stefano Pino. Again, Hogan was there. Pino down. He took the worst part of that contact. Hernandez Foster. Chops it back to Crognali. Referee looks at his watch. And there is halftime. Couple of concerns for Birmingham right now. First, the scoreline. It's 2 goals for Pittsburgh through one half of play. And the second concern, their striker, Stefano Pino, who is down to the turf and will receive a little bit of medical attention. And work to do for the home side. Not what they were looking for through the first half of play tonight. Instead, it's Pittsburgh Riverhounds below the playoff line coming into the night. Needed a 3-point performance, and right now they are well on their way. It's Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2, Birmingham 0 at the break here at Protective Stadium. Coming up at halftime, don't go anywhere. We sat down with Eric Avila, assistant coach for Birmingham Legion, to get his thoughts on the 2024 campaign. Plus, look at some first half highlights and stats and a look around the USL Championship. That is all when we return. Our score, Pittsburgh 2, Birmingham 0. More from our coverage of the USL Championship right after this.
Calling all Legion fans, Birmingham Legion and your local Papa John's have teamed up to kick your hunger with these exclusive Papa John's deals. When the Legion win, you win. Get a free large pizza with the purchase of a large pizza at regular menu price the day after a Legion win. Using code LEGIONWINS at papajohns.com. Hungry for better? All season long, enjoy 25% off your regular menu price order when you use code LEGION at papajohns.com. Don't miss out on these great deals at a participating Papa John's.
Season tickets on sale now.
Welcome back to our coverage of Birmingham Legion FC here with Eric Avila. Of course, Coach on the Birmingham Legion staff. Eric, appreciate you taking a little bit of time, man. I'm sure it felt good to get back to California and come away with 3 points last week.
100%. I think it was a long trip for us, but being in California, where I'm from, it was nice being back, and especially grabbing 3 points, which is perfect.
What's your favorite part, or what's the thing that you miss the most about California?
Well, besides the weather and the Mexican food, it's just always nice to be back. I feel like the weather out there is 75 all year round. So
not quite the same here.
It gets hot here.
Well, hopefully you've gotten used to it. You've been with Birmingham as a player, now you've been here as a coach for a couple of seasons now. What's your experience been like on staff?
I think it's been great. Being the staff with Tommy and Braden as well. It's just a big learning experience. And for me, it's just I love the game. So being around the guys in the locker room and try to help them become what they want to become and achieve what they want to achieve is something great.
And you were a guy that played for a long time. Did you always knew after you were done playing that you wanted to go be a coach?
I think so. I think I love the game tremendously, and I played it my whole life. So if anything I can give back to the community or to whoever, for me, I feel like I always wanted to be part of it.
And I saw you getting in some work with some of the younger guys as well. Do you enjoy working with the younger guys especially?
To get my little niche in, get my little fix, I go in there and play a little bit, but I'm getting too old and my knee's starting to hurt, so I'm okay.
I was about to say, you got to do a little bit more stretching, right?
Yeah, trust me, I know.
I asked Matt Van Okel how he's still working with all these young bucks, and he said it's a lot of stretching and a lot of work up in that new facility.
Trust me, I'd go kick a ball today, tomorrow I'm out for the whole week, so it should be done.
Fair enough. Now, obviously, this past year you've gotten to be across the sideline from some guys that used to be involved with Birmingham Legion FC, most notably Kano Smith, who you guys saw a couple of weeks ago. What was it like to see Kano on the opposite sideline for a change?
It's a different view,
Yep.
but very excited for him and his team. But it's always nice and friendly when we're off the field, but turn into a whole match. Those games, and those are big rivalries now. Like for me, it's exciting to see them, but it's also business when the game starts.
Well, it seems like, not only Kano, but there's a lot of guys that you either played with or have coached with or familiar with. It seems like there's a lot of relationships that are still kept intact across the league.
Yeah, I think that's what's special about being in the community of soccer. I guess it's a small community, they say, but seeing friends and seeing them achieve as well with their coaching careers and past, it's really nice to see.
And obviously, you want to see Birmingham achieve something as well. Birmingham in the playoff race right now in the Eastern Conference as we kind of head down the back third of this regular season. What's it going to take for Birmingham Legion to lock up a home playoff game and secure a strong playoff position?
I think it's for us. It's going to be game by game, and I think the guys are starting to feel healthy and starting to feel ready. We just need to make sure that we lock our home games down, and then our road games have been great. But we still need to have a big old push in order to get that home off.
Listen, if we don't start getting a little bit more healthy, might need you to lace them up.
Oh,
can you get back in the 18 for a few?
I'm gonna need a stretch for a long time.
Eric, appreciate the time, man. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
More from our coverage of the Legion right after this.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly pinata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
This is the beginning. This is a first practice, a first video session, a first pregame talk. This is a first ticket, a first scarf raise, a first kickoff. This is a tapestry of clubs and players and communities inspired by those who blazed the trail for women's sports, ready to inspire the next generation. We are the USL Super League. We're part of a movement, and this is our moment.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
The numbers are brilliant here for Phoenix. Can they find their second right there? Drops it to Lasso. Lasso gives it a go. What is the Lasso?
mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Welcome back to our coverage of the USL Championship tonight in Birmingham, Alabama. There's Legacy Arena, home to the Birmingham Squadron. Basketball season not too far away, but they're off in the distance. Protective Stadium as well. Home to Birmingham Legion FC, who trail Pittsburgh Riverhounds at the moment, 2-0. One half of play here on this Saturday night. This is a big match for both these two sides. As we look at the standings coming into the night, we'll start first out west. New Mexico still 7 points clear at the top. But FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising not too far off that 8th playoff spot. Morgan, still feels like from 7 to 11, everybody's alive. Yeah, and FC Tulsa and Phoenix have 2 games in hand on several of the teams ahead of them. So a very, very tight race out west. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Conference side of things, Birmingham Legion 6th coming into play tonight. They're chasing a home playoff game in that 4 slot, just 2 points behind Detroit City. But Pittsburgh Riverhounds, knowing they needed points, Morgan Poplili said, almost must-win games down the stretch. 3 points tonight would go a long, long way to closing the gap to Loudoun and Rhode Island. It really would, and you know, they have played more games than anybody else in the East apart from Charleston, but Pittsburgh's one of those teams, if they just make it into the playoffs, they can upset somebody. And so, you know, if they can start to score goals and finish and close that XG gap like we had talked about earlier, Pittsburgh could be a team to watch. Plenty of action across the USL Championship tonight, including a fun one right now in Connecticut. 1-1 the score between Hartford Athletic and Lou City, and Hartford has a man advantage for the remaining 20 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if Lou City end up dropping points up there in Connecticut. Meanwhile, Charleston at halftime taking care of business over on CBS Sports Golazo Network. And a fun one coming up later tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central, Colorado Springs hosting New Mexico United. That game over on ESPN+. Plus plenty of late night soccer coming your way as well over on Golazo Network. Oakland Roots hosting Memphis. That game kicking off in about an hour and 25 minutes. And then late nights, a couple of late night 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 10 o'clock Central Time kickoffs. Phoenix Rising hosting North Carolina. One of the fun ones left later on here this evening. Louisville City trying not to drop points in Connecticut, but Morgan, it's been a successful season on and off the field for the boys in purple so far in 2024. It certainly has, and with Harlow joining their ownership group, always just another headline for them. Obviously showing me making a big transfer as well, but you know, there are lots of great things for Louisville on and off the field, as you said. And of course, showing me going out, Philip Goodrum coming in, one of the biggest transfers in USL Championship history. Meanwhile, New Mexico United 14 wins already here in 2024, as we saw in our USL Championship Western Conference standings. New Mexico looking like they are well on their way to the #1 overall seed out in the Western Conference playoff picture. Here in a game that we thought would have an impact on the Eastern Conference playoff picture tonight, 5 shots apiece, Morgan, but 2 goals the advantage right now for the Hounds. Yeah, it looks very. We said earlier the stats don't always tell the story, and the saves that Eric Dick has made tonight so far have kept the lead for Pittsburgh. Obviously, Kizza with the 2 goals, a big impact, but you know, for me right now so far, I have to say that Eric Dick is man of the match for Pittsburgh. A couple of big stops denying Enzo Martinez, not once but twice. Birmingham looked like they might have had the opening goal there for a moment. Instead, they were denied. And Pittsburgh found the back of the net not once, but twice. Looks like Birmingham legend Eric Bledsoe back in the house. Former NBA shooting guard throwing some T-shirts. His arm's as good as his shot. Then might have given away a lot of free T-shirts tonight. Bledsoe and the rest of the Birmingham fans down below hoping Birmingham pulls a couple of goals back in the second half. We'll find out when we return.
We are Altec, Birmingham-based since 1929. We set the gold standard in equipment and services that connect us to the power and communications we all need. From bucket trucks to digger derricks, the equipment we make helps our customers and our communities dig deeper and reach higher. We're a team. We're a family. We're looking for someone just like you. Hammer down and team up with Altec. Learn more at jobs.altec.com.
They come for the pop, the sizzle, the food, and drink. They come to escape the same old and replace it with the some kind of wonderful. But mostly they come to play. And play, they will.
There's nothing better than a game and great tasting Miller Lite. It's less filling than Miller Lite. Tastes great.
Never understood this argument. Let it be both. Miller and Miller. I like it.
Welcome back to the Magic City, Birmingham, Alabama, home to Birmingham Legion. Find themselves on the downside of a 2-0 scoreline at the moment. Before we get started in our second half, let's look back at highlights from our first 45 minutes of Morgan. Dawson McCartney had an early look. Enzo Martinez had a couple of golden opportunities as well. But Eric Dick stood strong.
He did. I mean, he's done a great job of just, again, making himself big. And there's another fantastic save. Two mistakes from Pittsburgh there, where Eric Dick has had to bail him out, and then Kizza, just that man, just gets across Kavita here and just gets a toe to it, pokes it into the roof, makes it 1-0, and then get another look at, boom, right there. You see that little change of pace, change of direction, set Kavita off just enough for him to get across and score that goal, and then here he gets a touch and then just toe pokes it off the post and in. Nothing Matt Van Oekel can do about that. It's just easy peasy.
A first half brace for Edward Kizza. So far, that's the difference. Pittsburgh with a 2-goal advantage on the road, looking for a 3-point performance here in the Deep South tonight. We are just about ready to get our second half started. Birmingham Legion have made one change. Preston Tabor-Gitaka is on to start this second half. Substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. Preston Tabor-Gitaka starts this second half along with Birmingham Legion. Trail Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2-0 as we get this second 45 minutes underway. Pittsburgh wasting no time getting forward. Mertz's pass cut out by Kavita. Birmingham right away trying to get Tabor-Gitaka involved. That pass not quite to where it was intended to go. By the way, it's Jake Roof who has made way for the Cameroonian forward. It's the 16th time this year Tabor-Gitaka's come off the bench. Patterson deals with that initial serve. Blackstock couldn't quite get that back. Down the line it goes. Pino chested out of play, but he was bumped from behind as well. Free kick given to the Legion.
Derek Dodson is now showing up as the left back for Legion FC. Kavita stays as the right back with Patterson and Cronali as the two center backs for Legion FC. So that'll allow Dawson McCartney to push into the left winger position.
Some tweaks and changes for Birmingham Legion and their head coach Tom Sohn. So they chase not one but 2 goals here in this second half.
Pittsburgh has not lost a game since 2022 in September, when they have been leading at halftime. 17 wins, 5 draws. The last team they lost to when leading at halftime was none other than Birmingham Legion FC.
That game, the Pittsburgh led 1-0 at the break thanks to a goal from Albert Tikwa. Birmingham answered with 2 in the second half. One from Enzo Martinez, the other from Sadiq Balarabi. Birmingham tonight, to get 3 points, would need not 1, not 2, but they would need 3 here in this second stanza. Can't do anything, though, without pulling at least 1 back here. But at the very least, make things interesting.
You'll hear a lot of coaches say in a 2-0 game it's the most dangerous score because the third goal, if there is one in the game, is the most important because it changes the entire narrative. It either goes 3-0 and the game's almost done and dusted, or it goes 2-1, and now you're on the back foot trying to defend potentially, or you're even going further on the front foot to try and get that second. So we'll see. Legion FC, it's not time to panic just yet, but the hard part is going to be getting through Pittsburgh when they have a lead, because they do such a great job defensively already that they're going to have to get a moment of inspiration from a couple of players in order to get back into this game.
Throw in here for Fonwell, Kavita, and the Legion. Fans, if you can't watch the match, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, plus your live matches for the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Next in Blackstock, back in the South tonight, the Marietta, Georgia native, right wing back for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Blackstock able to get that back. What a turn that is from Blackstock into the area. His cross cut out by Dodson, but that was almost a moment of magic.
Yeah, he knows it too. You see the look on his reaction on his face. Get a look at it right here. A good ball in from Mertz, and just clean as you like, leaves A.J. Patterson there, and Dodson does a fantastic job getting back and making an impact, but gives up a corner. So we'll see what Pittsburgh does with this here. But Legion FC allowing Pittsburgh to get an opportunity early, not what you want to see.
Mertz plays the corner short. Biasi gave him that option. Right back to the feet of Mertz. A driven service way over the top of everybody. Enzo Martinez ushers it out of play.
Yeah, I'm always critical of teams who like to play short corners like that. You know, that ball, it came and there was 2 or 3 different passes between Mertz and Biasi there, and you know, then Mertz goes and whips the ball in with pressure and doesn't whip in a great ball, and so now all of a sudden, you know, you've just squandered an opportunity to serve a ball in with no nobody in your face, no contestation, and you know, you give that away. I've always just been very critical of teams when they do that, because I always think corners are a great opportunity for you to whip a ball in the box without anybody defending you.
Chinoretsu lost his footing there. Looked a bit awkward. He came up holding his left ankle. After a brief check from our referee, says he's good to go. 5th season in USL for Etu. 2nd season with Pittsburgh. 30-year-old has played a key role this year. Start number 24 for him tonight. This Pittsburgh's 26th game. Ollie down the line. Tabor Itaka bodied off it by Biasi.
That's good defending from Biasi. We talked earlier about Pino not holding off defenders, and there Tabor Itaka allows Biasi to get around him and come through and win that ball, which is not what you want to do.
Right back to the feet of Lucas Biasi, another Deep South native from Buford, Georgia. Good challenge there from Zuhir.
Next pass must be penetrating, must be forward. That's better.
Zuhir out wide. Tabor Itaka got there and able to maintain it around the sliding tackle of Biasi. Headed just too tall. Was there a touch? Yes, there was. Pino got ahead to it. Hogan did just enough to get it over the top of the bar.
I'll tell you what, that's great defending. Just enough is all that matters, because it's still 2-0, and there was the chance for Legion FC to make this game 2-1. You know, again, we talked about Pino having to get service. He got service, and actually it comes off of, he doesn't get a touch on it, just comes off of a Pittsburgh defender there.
Hogan and Suber making life tough for Pino on that ball in the air. It's the first corner of the night for Birmingham, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Referee stopping things for a moment. Kavita locked up with Langston Blackstock right around goalkeeper Eric Dick. Now given the go-ahead. Zuhir serves. Not a bad ball. Headed away by Suber, only as far as McCartney. McCartney back into the mix. Another header away. Hernandez Foster sweeps it across. McCartney. Good move to get around one man. Back to the penalty spot, laid off, Kavita Martinez, who got the last touch. Referee says Pittsburgh did. It's out for a corner from the opposite flag.
It's better from Legion FC. They're starting to knock on the door a little bit. They still haven't opened it, but you know, Pittsburgh need to be careful. They don't want to give up an early goal in the second half and allow Legion FC to have even more time to come and seek an equalizer.
Second corner brought to you by Chick-fil-A, and again, a stoppage before the service for some physicality in and around the 6-yard box. This time it's A.J. Patterson who's locked up with Jackson Walty. Hernandez Foster's been dangerous on corners so far this year. To the penalty spot. Dodson heads it back across. Dealt with by Biasi. Tabor Itaka back out to Hernandez Foster. Super got ahead to it. Kizza brings it down. Kizza fouled from behind. Free kick, Pittsburgh.
Again, it's better from Legion FC, but Pittsburgh still standing up to the task and allowing themselves to keep this game at 2-0. And yeah, the referee was right here. That ball was still rolling just a little bit, but there was a great opportunity to get a 2 in on the left flank for Pittsburgh there.
Junior Etu was off and running. Not a bad idea, but in the end, Pittsburgh will have to take that free kick again. There's Eric Avila, who we talked to at halftime. And Thompson trying to engineer a way back tonight for this Birmingham Legion side. Rain and cloudier, by the way, on the sideline tonight for Birmingham after he was shown red last weekend. He's up here in the suites with us. Birmingham building from the back once again. Kavita under a bit of pressure. Kobe Hernandez Foster has a bit more time and space. Legion not shy about pushing numbers forward early in this second half. With good reason, knowing they need a couple. So here's touch a little too heavy. It's ushered out of play by Mertz. A throw for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, again, that's sloppy from Legion FC. Again, it's just some of the little things that they haven't been doing in the past few games. They had a 2-0 lead against Hartford a few weeks ago at home, and then that game ended up 2-2, and this is great work from Pittsburgh here as Mertz gets on the end of the ball.
Mertz has options of developing. Kavita back to come get him. First time, not quite what Danny Griffin had in mind. But the clearance is only as far as Biasi. Mertz right back on it. Biasi holds it down here all the way back to Hogan. Riverhounds will reset. Super composed touch. Birmingham trying to force their lines a little bit higher. Dink sends it away. An easy header for Patterson down to Hernandez Foster. Zuhir. Just a bit too far out front of Dawson McCartney. Fancy USL League One matchup kicks off September coverage on the CBS Sports Network. Player shield holder Union Omaha visits newcomer Spokane Velocity FC in their first ever regular season clash. September 4th, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central. It's Union Omaha and Spokane Velocity FC on CBS Sports Network. Touch there from Dodson, got it right back to McCartney. Trying to go direct to Tabor Itaka. Hogan once again was wise to it.
Hogan's been fantastic too so far tonight. We've talked about Eric Dick making a huge difference so far in this game, but Pat Hogan has been tall. He's been an absolute rock for them so far in this first 56, 57 minutes. I wouldn't be surprised to see Legion FC to make a couple changes here in a few minutes and try and change the narrative of this game.
Not an attacking sequence there from the Legion, but didn't quite come off in the end. Mertz looking for a progressive pass. Black sock. Early serve, top of the box. Matt Van Oakland, easy catch. He wastes no time rolling it back out. To here. Tabor Itaka, a chance to show off that pace perhaps, if not for that intervention. Right on cue, there's Pat Hogan again.
Yeah, he had to get that touch, because if Tabor Itaka gets that ball beyond him, the only one of two things is happening. And Tabor Itaka is leaving Hogan in the dust, or Hogan's getting a card, because he's going to have to foul Tabor Itaka in that situation. But he gets there first, reads the ball, play well. Again, Hogan having a good night tonight.
Austin McCartney working centrally here for a moment. Allows Kobe Hernandez-Foster some space out wide. Dotson. Pino's touch. A little bit too heavy. Out for a goal kick. So far, so good for Bob Lilly. His team has done the job and then some on the road to this point. Still a little bit more than a half hour to play.
Yeah, and right there, it's just too easy from Legion FC to let Pittsburgh out and get all the way to midfield. You have Pino and Tabor Ataka who are pressing up almost 12 yards away from the goal line, from the touch line, and then you've got 10, 15, 20 yards of space in between after that. But here's a chance for them to go at speed at Pittsburgh, so they have to go quickly.
Tabor Ataka does so, gets it out wide to Pino, overlaps him. Pino for McCartney, Martinez arriving, Kavita arriving, McCartney, his pass deflected, headed down, Suhir didn't quite catch it clean.
And Pittsburgh will be perfectly fine with Legion FC taking chances like that from outside the box. No clear-cut chances, right? They have Eric Dick in goal, who has done a fantastic job this season of keeping people out of his own net. He's got tons of clean sheets so far. He's tied second with 9 so far this year. It's certainly difficult to get a goal past Pittsburgh in the first place. When you have a guy like Eric Dick in your box, it makes it even more difficult.
Dick sends it away. Kavita onto it here for the Legion. Tabor Ataka trying to flick it into his path, but just a bit too heavy. Out for a Pittsburgh throw. Birmingham fans, to stay up to date on all the latest Legion FC news, be sure to follow at BHM Legion. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and download the Legion FC app today on Google Play and the App Store. It's at BHM Legion on social media. The Legion FC app, your home for all things Birmingham Legion FC. Birmingham with just the one change tonight. Pittsburgh has not made any changes just yet. See how much longer that remains the case as Patterson comes across to clean this up. And who made his life difficult, who got the last touch. It's A.J. Patterson who did, and it's out for a third Pittsburgh corner.
And that's great work from Pittsburgh again. Pressing at the right moments, at the right times, and making it difficult to get away and earning a corner in that situation. It's just little things that are falling for Pittsburgh in tonight's game so far. They've had the chances, they've scored their chances. Legion FC have had the chances, but they haven't scored them. It's just the smallest of details are going Pittsburgh's way tonight, including earning this corner.
Mertz plays it short once more. At 2, an outswinging ball. Van Okel, a one-handed punch, only as far as Blackstock. Walty. Blackstock out wide. Serve got a piece of McCartney. Dodson sent it out of play. Fans, eFootball 2024 is here. Rep your team. Live your dream and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball free to play. Download it now on the gaming console of your choice. Less than a half hour to go tonight here in Birmingham, and the Legion are prepping their second change. Dodson hooves that up the direction of Hogan, who sent it right back at him. Suhir on the turn was brought down. Free kick for Birmingham. And now Birmingham will make that second change. It's Prosper Kasim who's coming on and replacing Stefano Pino. Substitution brought to you by Papa John's. Birmingham fans, use code LEGION for 25% off your regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. So an attacker off, an attacker on here for Birmingham.
I was just thinking I wouldn't be surprised to see Prosper Kasim, and then obviously Matthew Corcoran is on the bench for Legion FC tonight. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come off the bench and get a few minutes. But Prosper Kasim on the ball here, getting involved early. The more and more he can get touches and get on the half turn and get that ball on his left foot, the better for Legion FC.
Over 160 appearances for Kasim as a member of the Legion. He's made 17 starts this year. This is the 7th time he's coming off the bench tonight. Birmingham hoping he can make an impact final 27 plus minutes this evening. Throw here for Birmingham after Kavita's pass got a piece of it too. McCartney. Wide, that pass got all the way through to Kavita. Kavita's got a couple of options in the front of his vision. So here cuts it inside. McCartney. Hernandez Foster. A bit too far for shooting range for him. Dotson chips it forward. McCartney able to chest it down. So here, Kasim, an attacking chance. Tabor Itaka, can he pick out a black shirt in the box? A big swinging cross is over the top of everyone. Blackstock flicks it over the top of Dodson. It'll be a Birmingham throw.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's great to get the ball wide and whip crosses in like that. But, you know, Legion FC pulled off their best player in the air and in Pino. And so now if you're going to whip crosses in like that, who do you expect to go and attack them?
Not convincing the first time as he tried to attempt that catch, but able to corral it in the end. Now wait for a moment as everyone heads forward in a yellow shirt. Biasi back to Hogan, who had a backwards option. Instead works with Sean Suber. Suber, the Charlotte native, continuing to grow into a bigger role with Pittsburgh, and that pass goes to the right side of that flag, so it'll be a throw in that deep corner for Birmingham. Birmingham fans, if you're looking to grab some of this season's Legion FC merch to wear to the next home match at Protective Stadium, check out all the new gear now at bhmlegion.shop. That's bhmlegion.shop to make sure you're outfitted and ready for the next home match at Protective Stadium. Sends it away. Biasi will let it bounce off this Protective Stadium turf. Eric Dick, no nonsense there. Allows Birmingham to regain possession. Pittsburgh still without a change tonight, but Birmingham looks like they're ready to make at least one more. Martinez taking off it. Walty, good defending. And he wants to start the break the other way. Jackson Walty on the run. Kizza, two former Pitt Panthers connecting. Walty gets it back. Walty denied by Van Okel, who had that post covered. It was a tight angle for Jackson Walty, who scored his last time out. A banger of a goal against Colorado Springs. Put that one on frame. It didn't have much real estate to work with. You saw there on your screen, Moses Mensah has grabbed a shirt. He'll be the newest Birmingham player checking in sometime after this corner. Fourth of the night here for the Riverhounds. Mertz delivers, bodies collide. Somehow that bounced all the way through without a touch. Birmingham looking to build again. So here picks out Dawson McCartney some 35 yards up the field. It's out for a Birmingham throw. Now they can make that third change of the night. It's Moses Mensah coming on. And it's A.J. Patterson coming off. So Mensah is on for his 22nd appearance this year. Pardon me, his 21st. Almost split right down the middle. 10 starts. This is 11th time coming off the bench for the second-year pro, former Campbell Camel. So Mensah's on. He's the third fresh change here for the Legion between Prosper Kasim, Preston Tabor Itaka, and now Moses Mensah. All over the top. Biasi redirected it just enough. Mensah, the sub, right back onto it. Pittsburgh, by the way, is readying at least one change. Might end up being a double change for Bob Lilly and company. And here's Kasim with a bit of space. He's got McCartney out to his right. Instead goes centrally. Tabor Itaka right back to Kasim, who just could not quite keep that close enough. bad work at all there from Prosper Gassim. Just one touch too many in the end. Paulo Sumanu has grabbed a shirt for Pittsburgh, as has Emmanuel Johnson. Those are the two changes. It looks like they'll be made right now. Referee's board said 7 for 27. 9 for 28. So Emmanuel Johnson is on. And he will replace Babacar Dieng, who had the assist on the first goal of the night for Pittsburgh. Lalo Samanu will replace Langston Blackstock. So a double change here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, brought to you by Papa John's. Third time off the bench for Samanu, who has been an integral part of Bob Lilly's setup this year. 22 starts. He was third on the team in minutes coming into the weekend. Meanwhile, Emmanuel Johnson, a guy who trialed here at one point with Birmingham Legion early in the year. A foul and a free kick conceded to the Riverhounds. Good work by Etu, who has been heavily involved tonight. We'll see if Pittsburgh does get bodies forward here, or they'll play it short. Burns does the latter. 69 minutes gone here in Birmingham tonight. Gardner Morgan Copes here with you this evening. Game Pittsburgh is controlled so far. Griffin almost got a toe to that.
Getting to the point now where Legion SC do need to start panicking if they don't get a goal here in the next five minutes or so. It's already a tall task to score 2 against Pittsburgh in any situation, but if they want to make this interesting, the next 5-10 minutes they really have to get a goal so they can come after them a little bit more in the final 10 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how they go about that, if they're able to, or if Pittsburgh are able to batten down the hatches and keep the clean sheet.
Riverhounds enter play tonight, third in the USL Championship in clean sheets with 10 already this year. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, one of the best defensive teams in the league all season long. Defense has not been the issue for Bob Lilly's side. It's been the goal scoring. But not 1, but 2 goals from Edward Kizza in the first half. It's given the Hounds more than enough cushion to this point.
And again, right now, Pittsburgh are front to back. They're 20-25 yards, and you have to go around them, or you have to go over them. And when they're that close, a little effort there from Tabor Ataka. Easy save for Eric Dick in that situation. But again, you have to go around them, or you have to go over them. And when they're setting their lines so deep inside their own half, on top of their 18, you can't go over them because Eric Dick will come out and claim it. You have to go around them, because it's virtually impossible to play through them in that situation if they stay organized.
Whistle and a foul against Eric Dodson. And in the back of the newly checked in Emmanuel Johnson, who had started 8 straight coming into the night. It's the 8th time he's come off the bench this year for the Riverhounds. Pittsburgh, of course, in no hurry to put this back in play. Walty leaves it for Hogan to walk on to. Etu 1v1 with Dodson. Etu racing to the byline, got around Dodson, and just over the top. Kizza clips it just a little high.
It was a tough one. That's really good work from Etu to get around Dodson like that and get that serve in. Kizza, again, getting on the end of it, doesn't get that one on target, but certainly getting in the right spots again, as Coach Lilly said. He does a great job of doing that. Just unfortunate not to get the finish there.
Griffin around to here. Danny Griffin pushing forward, working with that too this time. Out swinging serve to the back post beyond the run of everybody. Easy collection in the end for Mensah, who wants to start things back the other way. Gassim under pressure. Right back to the feet of Mensah. And as Foster trying to play the big ball towards Tabor Itaka. Super saw it the whole way. Etu, was he clipped from behind? Yes, he was.
Yeah, and Hernandez Foster has the right idea in that situation, but when you have that ball at your feet, you have to overhit that. It has to be low, it has to be driven, and it has to get beyond the defender in order for Tabor Ataka, or a player like Tabor Ataka, to run onto it. He doesn't hit it hard enough, gets a little bit under it too much. Obviously Suber, very experienced in his own right, knew exactly what to do in that situation, and read that and cleared the danger.
Kizza, edge of the area, his shot finds Matt Van Oekel. He might have gotten a piece of it on the way through as well. Edward Kizza hungry for a third after already putting 2 in the back of the net. Approaching the final quarter hour of the night here at Protective Stadium. Throw here for the home side. Birmingham fans, Legion FC's next match is on the road against former assistant coach Conno Smith in Rhode Island FC on Saturday, August 31st. That match kicking off at 6:30 Central Time. Tune in to watch here on My68 or on ESPN Plus, and follow along at BHM Legion on Twitter for live match updates. Legion is back at Protective Stadium on Wednesday, September 11th against Tampa Bay Rowdies at 7 o'clock Central Time for a nationally televised contest on CBS Sports Network. Get your tickets to that match today at bhmlegion.com/tickets to help the Legion pack Protective. Birmingham looking for a goal-scoring opportunity that gets them back in this game. Suber heads that only as far away as Zuhair. Moritaka opens up. Martinez working in front of him. Dodson out wide. Dodson serve, too tall. It's over to track it down. Hernandez Foster keeps it moving. Moritaka will tee up a shot. Blocked away. Danny Griffin sacrificing his body.
And just in that sequence, watching it, the ball from Dodson isn't the greatest, but Mensah gets on the end, an opportunity to recycle runs for Legion FC and the attackers in that situation, and the ball circles around, but there's no there was very little off the ball movement. Somebody trying to do something to drag a defender in a different direction. It just seems a little stagnant, right? I like that idea from Prosper Hassim there, just getting that ball and just not touching it and letting it roll by. Obviously, Pittsburgh were able to clear it, but just something a little bit creative to try and find a way to get through and get a chance on goal.
Moritaka is going to get on the end of this, racing along the byline. His cross cut out. Hogan got a piece of it on the way through. Zuhair, lovely touches from him, working with Moritaka. Martinez denied. The flag was up anyway. Nevertheless, another excellent stop from Eric Dick. He has had Enzo Martinez numbered tonight.
That's the third time he's denied Enzo Martinez from putting the ball in the back of the net. Again, I said it early, I'll say it again. I really do think that so far tonight, Eric Dick may be the man of the match for Pittsburgh. And you hear Legion FC fans cheering. Matthew Corcoran is coming on and making his season debut, which will be something that'll be of welcome to Legion FC fans. He's a fan favorite and a guy who could come in and create chances and score goals himself. So, we'll see how he does in these last 15 minutes, but obviously a positive sign for Legion FC to see him back on the field this season.
18-year-old Matthew Corcoran, here for the first time here in 2024. The outstanding teenager underwent surgery back in March. He's made his way back onto the turf here at Protective Stadium for the final 14-plus minutes tonight. So Corcoran on for Rita Zuhair. Again, substitution brought to you by Papa John's. First touches from Corcoran are clean. Moritaka working with Dodson. Hogan ushers it back to Dick.
Again, we see a replay here of Enzo's chance, but it wouldn't have counted anyway. But, I mean, Eric Dick just coming out and getting a paw on it, just, again, making himself big and keeping the ball out of the net. He's done a fantastic job all night. He's for me, he's been the player of the match in his impact so far with 3 huge saves. That one won't count on the score sheet, but still, it just further solidifies the fact that Birmingham are going to have a very difficult time getting past Dick.
Eric Dick looking for his 10th clean sheet of the year here this evening. He has been strong in his first season as the Pittsburgh Riverhounds after spending the last couple of seasons back and forth between Minnesota United and their number 2 team. Tabor Itaka surrounded by 3 yellow shirts. Opted to get rid of it, and Kobe Hernandez Foster's pass under hit. Johnson on the run, he's going to get there. Crognali with defending to do as Birmingham scrambles to get back. Manuel Johnson waiting for a bit of support. It's very little and opts to go backwards. Samanu holds it up. Dozen minutes to go tonight, Pittsburgh. Looks like they're prepping a couple of more changes down below. Samanu and Johnson have come off the bench for the visitors so far in this second half. Looks like Bradley Sample and Kennardo Forbes, the USL legend, set to check in for the Hounds here in a moment. Good work from Mensa, was being held back. Referee playing the advantage. McCartney taken out behind the play. Now the referee will stop things and likely show yellow here. He will. So yellow card shown to Luke Biasi. The first yellow card caution shown to a Riverhound tonight. It's brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. And changes now being made here by Pittsburgh. Edward Kizda, the man with the 2 goals tonight coming off. He'll be replaced by Bradley Sample and no doubt be greeted warmly. Meanwhile, Robbie Mertens coming off as well. That is who Kennardo Forbes will replace. The 7-time All-USL selection. Forbes, the 36-year-old from Jamaica, gets his 26th appearance here in 2024.
Yeah, Kizza had a great night tonight. Bagged 2 goals, again in Birmingham. Not the first time he's done that. Coach Lilly will be very happy about that. He'll be very happy about that. Look to take that momentum into their next match.
Tabor Itaka, big save. Dick punches it aside.
Again, there's that man again, Eric Dick, standing tall, had his feet set. He really, really good technique there from a goalkeeper. Saw it cleanly and just made the save, right? It was a great strike on goal from Tabor Itaka, but again, Eric Dick doing the right things, doing the little things right, having his feet set and able to pounce and spring to make that save.
Kasim traps it down here. Johnson got a piece of his intended cross. Forbes gets it right back out wide. Johnson on the run, beats one man. Doesn't have much in the way of support. Forbes coming to help him out. It's Johnson against Hernandez Foster, and Hernandez Foster blocks that shot aside.
It's good defending from Kobe Hernandez Foster. Not easy to do. You have a player coming straight at you, a couple step overs, not a position you're used to, but here's the strike from Tabor Itaka. He gets all of it, and again, Eric Dick just makes a great save. It was pretty close to him. He didn't have to dive too far, but again, if you don't see it cleanly, if his feet aren't set in that situation and he's back on his heels, maybe he doesn't make that save, and it's 2-1. And so, again, Eric Dick making another big save tonight.
Another corner coming here for Pittsburgh. Kennardo Forbes chilling out by the ad boards until he's given the go-ahead. Driven towards the back post, over the top. Fosamanu. Throw for the Legion with 8+ minutes to go tonight. 11 shots tonight for Birmingham, just 9 for Pittsburgh. The 2 goals from Edward Kizza so far have proven to be more than enough. Sample's first real touches since coming on are positive. Kennardo Forbes connecting. Sample just enough to keep that in play. Forbes lays it off. Griffin. Sample's flick. Not quite what he was looking for. Birmingham building again with the clock working against them. Had a couple of opportunities, also been denied by Eric Dick 5 separate times. Johnson turning and running again, trying to get it back. Johnson, was he fouled? Referee says yes, just outside the box. And another yellow card coming out. Going to be shown to Derek Dotson. Yellow card brought to you by Rubio Law Firm, the third shown to a Birmingham Legion player tonight.
Yeah, I understand maybe the foul there, and we're getting a second look here. And initially my thoughts are, I don't know that it's worth a yellow card. I think it's a genuine attempt for the ball. I don't think that's a yellow card. Just my personal opinion, right? But the referee decides to go and give a yellow card in that situation. I don't think anybody's arguing with the foul. I wouldn't argue with that, but I don't think the card was necessary in that situation. Nevertheless, a very dangerous opportunity for Pittsburgh here to maybe get a third.
Riverhounds looking for icing on the cake tonight. Forbes, Griffin, Sample all giving this a look. In front of them, a 5-man Legion wall. Johnson and Martinez not too far away. Referee gives the go-ahead. Forbes lays it off. Johnson scores! Emmanuel Johnson stayed onside, and Pittsburgh do find a third. That likely wraps up all 3 points.
And the way that they're celebrating, you can tell that was something that they had tried on the training ground a few times, and that worked to perfection. Johnson in the wall, mixing up with Enzo Martinez just a little bit, and then decides the last second to run over him or run around him, and then sits himself right in between Enzo Martinez and Dawson McCartney. And then Forbes, we had a beautiful view of it up here in the press box. There was a path wide enough to put a semi-truck through almost, and it's just a simple pass and a tap in for Johnson in that situation to get Pittsburgh's third tonight.
Second goal of the year for Emmanuel Johnson, a California native, finding a home in Pittsburgh. Goal brought to you by AT&T.
You hear him shift off Enzo Martinez, and McCartney's just too late getting over to see him because he's out wide worrying about Biasi coming across, and nobody from Legion FC slides across to go to the goal scorer, who is standing on top of the penalty spot on a free kick. And so it just a great training ground free kick from Pittsburgh there. But if you're a Legion FC fan, you're looking at that, and it's like, who's paying attention? Was anybody watching this happen?
So 2 from Kizza, 1 from Emmanuel Johnson. And it is a 3-goal night for Pittsburgh here in Birmingham. Closing minutes of this 90. Birmingham back in the attacking third. Super cuts that out. At 2, still has some pace even in the late stages. Just ran out of real estate. The third time this year, Pittsburgh has found the back of the net 3 times. They found 3 goals at Phoenix back in April. They had 3 goals and a 3-1 win against Hartford back in July. Kasim just a bit behind Enzo Martinez. Falls for Tabor Itaka, trying to split defenders and does so. That's who got the last touch. It's out for a Birmingham corner, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. It's now 5 goals in the last 2 games for a Riverhounds side that has struggled to score throughout 2024. Perhaps that's changing here down the stretch. Itaka's cornered. Dick got 2 hands to it, and he might have been fouled in the process, and he was. Free kick for the Hounds, and they will make one final change tonight. Junior Etsu has put in a shift on that left flank for Pittsburgh this evening. Will check out. And Colombian Danny Rivera, second longest tenured Pittsburgh Riverhound, will check in off the bench for his 21st appearance of the year, the 13th time he's coming in as a sub. Substitution brought to you once again by Papa John's.
Substitution for Pittsburgh in the 87th minute. And number 4, Danny Rivera.
Rivera gets his first touches right away. AJ Johnson shielded off it by Corcoran. 88th minute here, Protective Stadium, and what a result this would be.
And it's going to be 8 unbeaten for Pittsburgh now with 4 wins and 4 draws. You know, that's, my math is correct. What, 4 wins is 12 points, and then you got 4 more, so 16 points in their last 8 games. That's not a bad return. Again, Pittsburgh is one of those teams, if they can get hot at the right time, they can beat anybody, especially if they can defend well, which they are generally very good at doing.
Riverhounds started slow this year. They were winless through their first 5, had 3 wins total in their first 18 contests of the season. As Morgan said, about to run that unbeaten streak to 8 straight as Corcoran's pass pinged off a couple of different Riverhounds. Griffin eventually cleared it away. Hernandez Foster working with Dawson McCartney. He'll try from distance. Dick saw it all the way and held on.
Yeah, just an easy routine save for Eric Dick right there. Hit straight at him. A lot of the shots on target that Legion FC have had tonight have been almost straight at Eric Dick. They haven't made him move too far left or right. But that's good positioning from Eric Dick. Don't want to take anything away from him in that situation. But, you know, there have been plenty of chances for Legion FC to score tonight, and they just haven't done it. On the flip side, you know, there's been much fewer chances, it feels like, for Pittsburgh to score goals, but they've found a way to put it in the back of the net. I believe this will probably close that gap on their XG that they should have had, or would expect it to have, rather. They'll be very happy about that, but you know, and overall, just a great performance front to back from Pittsburgh tonight, in my opinion.
If you go by expected goals conceded and expected goals scored, no team has been more unlucky this year than this Pittsburgh Riverhounds club. If you went just by the expected numbers, they would be sitting on about 40 points. Instead, coming into the night, just 28 for the Hounds. Perhaps tonight some positive regression on the side of Pittsburgh. For Birmingham, the frustrations at home for one of the best road teams in the league unfortunately continue. Be just 1 point for Birmingham from their last 3 home matches as we get 3 additional minutes to close out the night, brought to you by UAB Medicine.
And they haven't scored a goal since the first half. They scored 2 against Hartford, which, you know, first half goals have been very hard to come by for Legion FC. Haven't scored in 20 of 25 games so far this year in the first half.
A bad idea there for McCartney. His layoff, though, picked off by Rivera. Birmingham going up to the northeast next time out to Rhode Island. See if their excellent road form continues. Kasim, not a bad idea. Just a bit too tall in the end.
It's a good effort. He actually caught Eric Dick off his line just a little bit, and a little off balance. You know, had that been on target, I don't know that Dick would have saved that, but you know, he was very happy to see that sail over his bar as we enter the 92nd minute of 93.
Sent away. Kavita got ahead to it. Kasim trying to flick it forward. Tabor Itaka able to turn. Rivera lost a shoe. Tabor Itaka, a few step overs. Couldn't find his way around Suber. Martinez is onside. Cuts it back, but only to Griffin. Good news for Birmingham tonight as both Loudoun United and Rhode Island chasing them. Eastern Conference playoff race, and it looks like that match is going to end in a scoreless draw. So either side able to collect 3 points in that matchup.
And the 11 about to play Las Vegas in just a little while. They'll be very happy to see the results that have transpired tonight. They have 2 games in hand against Detroit and Birmingham, and they're only 2 points back of Detroit.
Tabor Itaka's ball a bit too far in front of Mensa. What might be the final push forward of the night for the Legion as we enter the 93rd minute.
both Loudoun and Rhode Island will rue the chance to get 3 points tonight, because 3 points would have vaulted them into 4th place had they gotten it. No, excuse me, my math was wrong. They're already getting 1 point credit for tonight. They would have been on 36, so 1 point out of 4th place. Excuse me.
Of course, the Legion enter play tonight on 35 points, good for 6th in the Eastern Conference. Pittsburgh, after this win tonight, get to 31 points and continue to try to chase a playoff spot. A yellow card shown once more, this time to Kobe Hernandez Foster, brought to you by Rubio Law Firm. We'll see if Pittsburgh take this free kick or if that's the final action we get tonight. Referee saying his watch has stopped and he's stepping it off, so Pittsburgh will have to, at the very least, put it back into play. Doesn't look like they have any intention of sending this goalward. Arno Forbes chops it back. That is full time. It's a 3-0 win for Pittsburgh, and it is career win number 400 in the head coaching career of Bob Lilly. His side gets it done in style tonight in the Deep South.
Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC3, Birmingham SC 0.
What a moment for Coach Lilly. Active, winningest head coach in American professional soccer. He collects his 400th win. Edward Kizza has a brace on the night. Emmanuel Johnson scores a 3rd to give Pittsburgh a 3-goal, 3-point performance here in Birmingham. Much needed 3 points for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who run their unbeaten streak to 8 consecutive as we push down the final third of this USL Championship campaign. Man of the match, likely that man, number 19 in yellow, Edward Kizza. His side, 3-0 winners tonight. We'll return to wrap it up right after this.
What's up, everybody? I'm Deontay. A little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is the flavor it provides. It's seasoned to perfection. It's juicy every time. The pepper jack, it melts on top, and it gives it that little kick. Along with the zest from the chicken, it's memorable when you bite into it. Just thinking about how it's stacked up, that's what I look forward to every time. This Spicy Deluxe is fire.
Real customer paid for their testimonial.
And those that see the perfect wave.
Welcome back on a beautiful night here in Birmingham, Alabama. Alabama Theater, not too far away from Protective Stadium, home to Birmingham Legion. Pittsburgh Riverhounds come into the Deep South tonight and will come away with all 3 points thanks to a 3-goal performance. They pick up their 7th win in 10 meetings the whole time against Birmingham Legion. Blake Gardner, Morgan Copes here with you. Morgan, look at our final stats, and those 2 first-half goals from Edward Kizza proved to be all the difference Pittsburgh needed.
They really did, and they only needed 1. And Eric Dick was very good tonight. Really impressed with his ability to just command everything in front of him, and stay big in his box, and really just make a huge impact on this game. The saves that he makes, some of them are just point blank, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for the performance and for their 3 points and clean sheet tonight.
And the arrow continues to point north for Pittsburgh with their season hanging in the balance. Playoff push commencing. A big 3 points tonight for the Hounds. They go on the road once again to take on Indy 11 before coming back home to face Rhode Island and and then a trip to Tampa Bay before seeing this Birmingham team once again, Morgan. Pittsburgh, despite being down in the playoff picture, they've got shots at almost everybody above them in the Eastern Conference table coming up.
Yeah, that'll be a great opportunity for them to kind of inch their way up to the playoff spots. And again, Pittsburgh's a team that if they get hot at the right time, they can be very difficult to deal with.
Just 3 points out of a playoff spot after tonight's victory. Meanwhile, for Birmingham Legion, frustration at home perhaps, but Morgan, only a couple teams have been better on the road than this Birmingham side. They're hoping they take that road form to Rhode Island coming up next weekend.
Yeah, they'll want to return to Rhode Island or go up to Rhode Island and return the favor that they delivered to them with a 3-1 win here in Birmingham on Connell Smith's return. So Connell Smith will be circling that game as one that's super important to him personally, and he'll have his guys ready to play. But, it doesn't get any easier. You got Tampa Bay coming to town, and then you got to go to Loudoun. So those are all teams. All three of those are playoff teams.
So we'll see if Birmingham can get back on track after a frustrating performance tonight. In large part thanks to that man. Edward Kizza scores twice inside of 40 minutes. And Eric Dick, a couple of important stops. He earns his 10th clean sheet. Only Danny Vitello at Sacramento Republic has more. But from front to back tonight, a quality performance on the road from Bob Lilly's Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They come away with a victory tonight. And we'll see if things change when these two teams meet here in about 3 weeks' time, coming up at Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh got on the board first thanks to that toe poke from Edward Kizza. He later found a second, and Emmanuel Johnson found a third. Pittsburgh Riverhounds 3, Birmingham Legion 0. Our final score tonight here in the Magic City. Thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship here at Protective Stadium this evening. For Morgan Copes and our entire crew, I'm Blake Gardner saying so long from Birmingham, Alabama. Once again, our final score tonight, Pittsburgh 3, Birmingham 0. Thanks for watching our coverage of the USL Championship, and we'll talk to you next time for another edition of USL Championship Soccer.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.